See, this morning, I want to speak again. I want to talk directly to most of you are like young Nigerians. This time around, before I get into my own element here, I'm going to address you as Nigerians because young people who came out a year ago for NSAS to end police brutality, end corruption, bring the responsibility and make their leaders responsible. They were shot at and killed. And the people who organized that, who made that happen, right, are now coming back to say, oh, we will rescue you. Don't worry. Whatever anything you have now, whatever the problem is, right, we will fix it. And the youth, the same youth, are back and promoting swagger. Again, I am just going to be your conscience. Share the So now, take a look at it this way. Nigeria is a place where mostly, right, people blame or look for somebody to blame for their own culpability into whatever is wrong with them. Nigeria is a place that people love their thieves differently. And when they finish giving their thieves the power they buy from them, then they look around to blame other people for whatever economic hardship they are facing. But whenever an election is also coming, they will forget about all of that. Whatever you say to them doesn't make any sense. Their thieves are back in town, telling them and promising them again and again. They will go with them. They will damn you. But when they are done and they're ripped off, when they turn around, they look for people to blame. Why don't you come back home and fix it? Why don't you come back to Nigeria and do it? Why are you sitting abroad? People will be, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, those who brought Nigeria to our knees, they are not just your leaders. So are those of you who are their followers. Greedy, selfish, self-centered animals. Most of you. And that's being honest, right? And I've told you several times, if you look at yourselves, if you look at those who claim your leaders, if you check critically where you belong, you will realize that if you are among those who love their thieves differently, it will be so difficult, so hard for you to make headway in life. You know why? Those you are choosing are those who brought Nigeria to our current situation. Now, they are the same people who are now offering themselves again. Don't worry, we'll fix it. So, you have to choose and say, well, I mean, I still prefer that is how you choose your thieves. But there are consequences when you do this, because they say only mad people will do the same thing again and again and again and expect different results, right? So that is why when I said most of you are mad because of the choices you are going to make and you're going to justify them, which I don't have any problem with. The only thing I have problem with, at a point where I have a problem is the fact that when these criminals turn back and begin to deal with you, people like us won't shut up, will continue to call them out, then you will think calling them out is a competition where we should then come to your rescue. Why are you sitting abroad? Why don't you come back in there? Now, you are about to go that same journey. People who monitored your killings of your brothers and sisters, they even try to make you deny. They brought the economic ruin. They brought the terrorism. They brought the imbalance, the injustice, the corruption that has crippled every part of that country as we speak. Now, I am going to take you back in memory lane a bit. Because you see, if I'm talking about 2015, that may sound like ages ago. If we talk about 1960, that may sound like a century ago. I am talking about last year, where every anger, every rage, every disappointment in those who claim to be leading Nigeria. I'm talking about the polity itself. Everything came to a standstill when you had the chance of expressing how you felt. But what did they do? They tried to cajole you. When that didn't work, they tried to bribe you. When that didn't work, what did they do next? They hired those who are ready to attack you. And at the end of the day, they unleashed their military on you just a year ago. But today, some of those who were there out there, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, listen. Some of them who are even still using that blood-stained Nigeria flag as their profile pictures since last year, some of them today are now promoting swagger, forgetting that those who are bringing you swagger are the same people who brought you change. They are the same people who brought you next devil. They are the same people who brought you this, economic recession. 2 times recession in a year, and which you haven't recovered from. They are the same people who crashed your Naira. They are the same people who crashed your job, whereby 33% of you are now jobless. They are the same people who have told you to normalize kidnapping and payment of ransom. They are the same people who you watch for the first time in 30 years. Your national grid, electricity in Nigeria shut down for the first time in 30 years. The first time that happened after independence was in 1985. Guess who was in power? Who was the military coup leader then? Bokwari. 30 years later, they told you they were going to increase the... Well, to cut it short, the same criminals who promised you heaven and earth, they are coming with swagger. And the same youth, disoriented, mostly psychologically destroyed youth, that blame everybody else for their misfortune, blame everybody else, everyone else for their problems, but themselves. Now, they are about to go on that journey. Now, their message is this. If we don't vote for TINUBU, if we don't follow TINUBU, who are we going to follow? Listen, I am not going to tell you not to follow TINUBU. Do what you have to do. What I'm trying to tell you now is that you are a madman and a mad woman. Because you know what? You are trying to do same thing again and again, but expecting a different result, and you will fight anybody who tells you otherwise. So there's no one who is going to tell you not to. You are going to do it. Now, if you are lucky and that happened, right? It is just going to be same way. You are dead sure, because TINUBU was involved, Atiku was involved, Saraki was involved, Kwakwanso was involved, Bokwari was there, and so many of your role models, criminals, they were there. Definitely, this was going to work. 6 years after that, many of you are now working on how to japa for those who have money. For those who don't have money, many of you are now working on how to escape. If you are escaping a bullet from the police, you are also escaping the bullet from the kidnappers. You are just living. Let me say, you are just trying to stay alive. 6 years after what they told you 7 years ago. The same madness that you all had then is coming back. You know why? The same people who put you in that hysteria then, they are back in business. So who am I to tell you, oh, don't vote for TINUBU? Me, don't vote for TINUBU. Do everything to make your TINUBU or any of these criminals, give those excuses and go for them. But guess what? Because and that's very simple. Those who couldn't develop even Yorubaland, a place that should have been the epicenter of civilization in the 21st century, before the 21st century, towards the end of the 20th century, we were in the middle of 20th century, we were supposed to be the greatest. No joke. And I'm proud to say that anywhere, because the record speaks for itself. But those who benefited from the growing, developing nature of the Yorubaland then, through the free education, free this, free that, scholarship, all of that, they came back to pay Yorubaland back by joining Nigeria to continue to give us a dead killer deals that keeps us poor And we continue to descend to what we are today. The same character who couldn't even generate electricity that can at least power every home in Yorubaland. Those who couldn't who couldn't man up to say, listen, the arrangement Yorubas entered in 1960 was an autonomous Yoruba region where we had the chance of controlling our own destiny, including our resources. Now, for all these years, they couldn't utter it. They were murmuring it, restructuring, true federalism, because those are the easy things you can sell to the Yorubas and make them forget anything about Yoruba nation or forget anything about being on their own. You know why? They will say, no, you can't just do it that way. If you ask for to break up, it's going to be war. The real war is them. And you are the equipment of their war. You are the financier, the backers of their war, because the war is their own survivor and your own ruin. TINUBU, when in 2020, that was last year, October, when they killed over 100 people at Lekki Toll Gate, killed over 200 more around Yorubaland, including Lagos, Mushin, Ijora, Apapa, all these areas in Lagos where their policemen were shooting to kill people. Even those who were in their own homes, they went into their shop. For opening shop, they shot and killed them. All the records are there, right? Just last year, TINUBU came out. Guess what was his response? This.
Those who suffer casualty during the gunshot need to answer some questions too. How are they there? How long were they there? What kind of characters are they? Even though we want to help.
You got that? Why were they there? How long were they there? And that was the end of the story. For those who became victims, for those who have their family members and those who actually got killed and their family members, they know that. And today, the same young people, right, are now saying it is swagger for them. Brilliant, go for it, right? But we know the end result. Same thing, talking about people who have no conscience whatsoever about you. It's all about that power. And when you have to look into them like critically, you should be able to pick something that you can say, oh, well, this is why I want to believe in them. To so many of you, the only reason why many of you believe in them is because of, number one, how much they have weaponized poverty. Okay? And I'm not saying this because poverty of because you can't eat. There are many of you who are actually the elite, call yourself elite. You are able to feed yourselves. You can take care of your family and all of that. You are managing. Many of you are those who are selling the idea of TINUBU to the poor. The poor people will then go ahead and collect Congo of rice, 500 naira, 1,000 naira. And that will happen. And guess what? A year after that, the same elite, all of you who sabi speak grammar, all of you will now turn around and then blame the poor people only. Now, so all of them, they collect money to go and vote. Meanwhile, all of you who believe that you are doing a little bit better are the influencers who get on to influence the poor. That you have one or two things on and tell them, listen, you know what? The person you should follow, follow that person. Now, when they now either elect their PDP or APC, the same you, when we are talking about how degenerated Nigeria has been, the same you, elite, comfortable people, you will join us and start saying, now the poor people, they always collect money to vote. But today, some of you are already propagating that TINUBU on every platform you can speak up. Because according to you, the reason why many people want to break away from Nigeria is simply because of Boko Haram. Making it look like the problem of Nigeria right now was brought upon and they started happening when Boko Haram became president. So that impression is what many of you who call yourselves elite better to do. I don't feed from politicians. I don't collect. I don't care about them. I just want good governance. Good governance kill you there because your influence is this. You continue to make dive and tell the poor people, right? That, oh, yeah, I prefer that. Oh, I prefer that person. Because you know why? The reason why people want to break away is because Bokwari is this. No, it's not because Bokwari is this or that. Bokwari only came to expose what many, many others have been hiding. There was never one Nigeria, okay? There was never one Nigeria. There has always been many Nigerias. And that has always been what they have been managing until Bokwari came. So you elite, you are convincing people, telling them, don't worry, by the time by the time the Bokwari is gone, everybody will calm down. Yeah? Well, that is why you are going to then turn around later to tell us that now poor people vote for TINUBU, now poor people vote for APC, now poor people, now them they collect money, while you are actually the criminals doing all of this. You may not know. I am saying it to your face now. Maybe you haven't thought about it. You haven't really, think about it. You go about, right? Apart from this disoriented youth, completely destroyed ones, many of them are irredeemable. And for few that can be redeemed, yeah, the work is on them to get them back and begin to reason right. And let me tell you something. There are many of them who are now reasoning right in that contraption. But the population of the misguided ones are far larger than those who are coming back. And that is why we are still having this struggle. And who are those who are making it difficult? Most of you call yourself elites. Some of you, because you had jobs in 2015, you were able to tell the poor people then that those you call poor, that, Nigeria, with all these promises of APC, within a year, many of you abroad, you will be running back to Nigeria because you were working in the bank, you are working in this place, working in that place. 6 years after, some of you who made those promises, somebody said, Maiyegun, my pastor who told me to always pray that Nigeria will soon better, that my pastor, the guy don't travel, go Canada now with his entire family. And he's saying, see, if Nigeria go better, or go better, make people wait there fix some. Pastor, where they tell us, say, you must have faith. Because one day Nigeria is going to be great. Nigeria is going to be better. He don't relocate. So for those who believe that, oh, maybe it's because when Bokwari is gone, the problem will be gone. I'll take you back again to TINUBU. Talking about those, you shouldn't put your neck out. Some said, but are we not going to vote? I said, what has your vote done if you know it never really counts? I'm coming to that. TINUBU went to Ondo when Papa Shoranti's daughter was killed. And when he met with the journalist, that was when he was asking about where are the cows. And he said something that you all continue to say Fulani, this Fulani, that. Is Evans a Fulani kidnapper? That is something they use, right, as a distraction to what is there as an evidence in a way. That's what they do. They divert it or divert your attention, distract that, and give you another thing that will make you feel like, okay. So then what will happen to those who killed this Mrs. Olakunrin? This is what TINUBU said.
It's seriously sad and unacceptable. But nobody can return alive. She has answered the call. Be it Christian or Muslim, we all accepted that it's certain we're going to die one day. We don't know which date. But we must not use this incident to divide ourselves. We must use it as a cure to the security problem. Additional police, additional patrol, and additional security reinforcement along our road and in various black spots. It is necessary. We have discussed that among the various authorities, and the government is eminently aware and being proactive about it. The security challenges are numerous across this country. We have to fight across this country. We have to fight it. We are going through that period. More police are being recruited. But it takes time to train and deploy to various areas. Very stretched. Nobody prepares more than necessary for this. But if you look at Samvara, you look at Osun, you look at Ekiti, you look at Ondo, you look at all, then we have to fight the poverty, unemployment, and all that causes that might lead people to crime. Equally, create opportunity to convert this tragedy to prosperity. It has been destined that that is the way she will go. You can't change what is ordained by God. You cannot change it. One way or the other. It should be dead by road accident or any other means, she will. It is a premature death. But that is very close to me. I've disclosed that one. You don't have to exhibit it. Only 4 or 5 days ago, we had our chat. We on WhatsApp to one another. I know what we, discussed. I know what she even discussed about Baba's health conditions. So we just pray that this one will not happen again. Yes.
Sir, people are worried that these attackers are ex-men who are being Some which has even caused them to their Are you not concerned about this?
Excuse me, I am extremely concerned about security. Okay? I don't want a stigma. I can go through history of kidnapping, and you are matured enough. We know how it started, where it all started. There are a lot of copycats. How many years ago have we faced insecurity in this country and cases of kidnapping? It's Evans who was arrested and the disclosure thereafter. A Hatchman. I don't want to be political. I will ask you, where
are the cows? That's what he said there. Where are the cows? Abba Oshpopi Kyari was the one who arrested Evans, kidnapper from Lagos. And the story behind that was because, has come out, and it's that Evans couldn't pay the bribe that Abba Kyari asked for, right? So Abba Kyari had to effect his arrest and take over his properties, like many others who came to light for those, skewed operations that he said. But that's Steve TINUBU there. He was talking about, the way he was talking, he's talking as if to say he's not a member of the same people in government. He said, oh, police men are being recruited. We should do this. We should do that. We should create opportunity. We should create jobs and all of that. But guess what? That was about 2 years ago, right? Now, when they finally confronted him, now I'm showing you this for those of you who think, telling you that you have been so wrong to listen to these guys. These guys are career criminals, or you can say career political criminals. This is their job. This is their life. This is what they live on. This is what they feed their family on. This is what their family survive on for decades now. This is what they have. This is all they own. And they will tell you anything and everything to keep what they have and getting from this. But you, what you give is that what they do to you is that they take and take and take until they take your life. So you have been so wrong again and again. If people like this can convince you with whatever they say, they are not really intelligent. It's just because, God help you, they have done so much damages to the mind of Nigerians, so terribly bad that average Nigerians can no longer reason like human beings, like reason properly anymore. Because you can't reason properly when you are hungry. You can't reason properly when you are in debt. You can't reason properly, when you are homeless in a way. I mean, they know all this, which is what they created. You can't reason properly. And all they needed is just half of you. They don't need all of you. So these same characters who have now made you somebody who is now living in America. 2015, you were thinking Americans will be begging for Nigeria visa. You were thinking, well, that's what they told you. British will be begging to come to Nigeria. The whole world will be begging to come to Nigeria the moment Bukwari comes in. But rather, the whole world is trying to stop you from coming over if you don't have anything to offer. Now, many of you because you are going to lose your job, right? Some of you have to run away with your family. You are going to become poor. Many of you have become poorer. Those who still pretended to have jobs in Nigeria, they have the job just to at least to fulfill the psychological fulfillment that at least I have something. Even if I don't get paid, at least they are owing me. Now, here is what happened. The same character are coming back to say, you know what? We were wrong. Even in their own way, said TINUBU was shocked. And he was like, 33% unemployed? And what is 33% of 200 million? That's like saying, about 60 to 65 million of you officially no get job. Now, another 33% as well, put that one as those that they didn't cover in that bracket. It's like more than 120 million of you have no jobs. How do you think you're going to survive? Some will fall into some will fall into crime. Like I said, copycats. You see, we now have those who are kidnapping people in Yorubaland now. We have Fulani who are kidnapping Yoruba. We have Yorubas who are doing kidnapping in Yorubaland. We have other people from everywhere doing kidnapping in Yorubaland. We have other people doing kidnapping in Igbo land. We have Igbo people doing kidnapping in Igbo land. We have Fulani doing kidnapping in Igbo land. We have so many people involved in so many crimes. Because what? The market is saturated with all capable lands. You know what I'm talking about? You have the unknown gunmen that the politicians put together, armed, right? And they send them around to commit all these crimes because people are jobless, people are docile, and the only thing available is what they get from the political criminals who hold them in their jugular, including in Southwest. So some of you have run away because you couldn't cope with that poverty that was coming. Now you are now loving Nigeria from abroad. Now, this is you again. Stockholm syndrome. Selective amnesia. Now, this is you again. From that to your abroad, telling the remaining mumu, the born to suffer head in Nigeria, that swagger it is. Whatever is going on, forget about it. Let us all come together. You and who coming together. To do what? To give somebody like this that will come and solve your unemployment problem. TINUBU, what will you do Now that they have 33% unemployment in Nigeria, let's ask him. TINUBU?
And we are competing with armed robbers and bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and take away from their recruitment source. What do we eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn, and the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand as consumption.
Sorry guys, I just caught Olatunji Awofeso giving a directive. Please don't insult a Yoruba political leader. Let me relax first before I respond to you. Olatunji, if you are still watching, kò ní ragbá fún gbogbo àwọn political leader tó ń sọ yẹn. Òfò lómi ẹ̀fọ́ ń ṣe, òfò ní gbogbo yín jọ máa ṣe. Kì í ṣe pé o, because ibi tó máa hand sí nìyẹn. Ṣorí orí burúkú tó ń bá ẹ jà, wherever you are. Ìwọ Ọlátúnjí tó ń gbọ́ mi tó ń wò mí tó wà yẹn, wherever you are. Orí burúkú tó ń tẹ̀lé ẹ kiri, tí wọ́n sọ pé kẹ́ kó ran àwọn tó kù, orí ibú tó bá àwọn tó bí ẹ, orí ibú tó bá ẹ, possibly orí ibú tó fẹ́ kó bá àwọn ọmọ títí ẹ. That is why tó ṣe wòye pé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá o, àwọn tó ti prove ẹ̀ fún wa pé ọmọ àlè ni wọ́n. Kò sẹ́ni tó máa love ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó máa treat ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bó ṣe ń treat ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn o. You get that? Ará àta lè treat ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bó ṣe ń treat ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ṣùgbọ́n look at those àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ leader ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ń sọ Yorùbá lẹ́nu, àwọn governor wa, àwọn representatives yìí and the rest of them, àwọn tí wọ́n ń gba owó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Now those are àwọn tó ń pè ní political leader ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nìyẹn kò ní ní kúre níbikíbi tó bá wà tó bá ń gbọ́ mi mo ń bẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ yìí o. Because nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lọ́jọ́ tèmi, tí wọ́n bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ọmọ tí ó yẹ kó wà níléèwé tí wọ́n lè lọ síléèwé, wàá rí hundreds of thousands of them nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Tó bá fẹ́ mọ ilé ìwòsàn tó lé débi pé àwọn olórí burúkú tó pè ní olórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn, àmì political leader ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn, tí ò ní ra gbá fún wọn, tí ò ní ra bẹ́ńṣọ́ fún wọn fúnra rẹ̀, right? Wọ́n ṣe fún odindi oyè ọdún yìí, kò sí hospital kan ṣo báyìí tó lè treat ẹnì kankan nínú wọn ní Nàìjíríà. TINUBU, olórí burúkú TINUBU ọ̀gá yín yẹn, right? Òun fúnra rẹ̀ ò rí hospital kankan ní gbogbo Èkó after 22 years tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe leader ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú ọmọ àlè ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ̀yin ọmọ ìrankíran, ẹ̀yin ọmọ àtòkò wa balẹ̀ jẹ́ ọmọ àlè. Now fódìndé oṣù mẹ́ta ló wá lò ní London, 3 months ló lò ní London tí wọ́n fi ń treat ẹsẹ̀. Tí bàbá ẹ tó bí ẹ, tí ẹsẹ̀ bá kán, ṣó lè gbé bàbá ẹ wá sí London kó wá ṣe ẹsẹ̀ bàbá ẹ ní London Ọlátúnjí. Ó ní kúre o. Àdúrà mo ń ṣe fún ẹ because deserve láti kúre. And after that, mi ò fẹ́ rí orúkọ ẹ wọ́n ní ìwọ Ọlátúnjí Awófẹ̀sọ, òfò lómi ẹ̀fọ́ ń ṣe, òfò níwà táwọn tó pè ní political leader yín lẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn lẹ́jọ́ máa ṣe. We have Yoruba people who are currently refugees in Benin Republic. And we have Yoruba leaders who will never talk about them. We have communities in Yorubaland who are suffering hell. No joke, right? Yoruba political leaders won't talk about them. And I have one Olori Buruku called Olatunji Awofeso telling me that I should not insult Yoruba leader. Oh, ni kure for the third time. Àtàwọn tó ní ẹ, ègbé lẹ máa ṣe. Because you buy Yoruba ni mo máa fi ń ṣe broadcast mi ni. Trust me, ó wà more direct, better. In fact, ìyẹn máa better, ó máa wọ̀ yín ní ṣan ara, ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú ọmọ àlè. You see, in Yorubaland, let me tell you something. We are Omoluwabis. You see all these characters you see today, parading themselves as leaders, as opinion molders, as this and that. These are bunch of never-do-wells. They are the worst of our society. They are the worst from the Yorubaland. And as for the rest of Nigeria too, right? We are being represented by the worst. And since we have buried the Omoluwabi, this is what these guys did, right? In Yorubaland, you are not expected to respect a thief, whoever steals from you. Leadership comes with responsibility. And now let me tell you how valid Yoruba culture is when it comes to being responsible, especially in position of leadership or being head of home, right? Yoruba believe that after the gods, the next to the gods is the king. Do you understand? Like the revered. So according to the Yoruba culture, our kings, right? They are the representatives of the gods. So whatever the king says, we believe that he must have consulted with the gods, which means it must be for the betterment of us all. Okay? That is responsibility. So we therefore don't question our kings. That was way back then, before we started having political kings. But people didn't know that we've been having political kings since 1970. And those who have ensured that political kings are those who are kings, pretending to be representing Yoruba culture and tradition. But no, their interest is actually being funded by those who believe in Nigeria. Now, many people didn't believe that, but they still held on to that culture. Don't insult our Waobao. Waobaos are this. We need to be careful because that is our culture. We have to respect them. Right? But let me tell you something. In that same Yoruba culture, right? A king, as much as you can question a king, Yoruba has a culture that is called checks and balances in our traditional way. It means a king can go wrong. And guess what? As powerful, as untouchable as a king is in Yoruba land and our culture, if a king goes wrong, they will give him 7 days to go and kill himself. Or they will dethrone him. They don't care how powerful he is. It doesn't matter how dread or how whatever it is. That is Yoruba culture. The moment that king begins to go personal against the interest of the generality, what should be the interest of all of us? Is it not to have a good life? Is it not for you to have your children, your children trained enough that they can take care of themselves and be responsible for themselves, responsible for their community, and responsible for their country? Is that not how reciprocative it should be? Now, you have a society whereby we've all turned to beggars. Many, many of you, you know what I'm talking about. They brought you to this state. And then when they want to confuse you, they will talk about God. They will tell you that it's the will of God. It's your destiny. Whoever has a destiny to be poor, who has a destiny to be murdered, that shouldn't be your destiny. Now, what they did in Yorubaland is that the moment we started having these political criminals, these bastards, who speak the same Yoruba, who wear the same clothes, who pretended to be Yoruba because they bear Yoruba names. But their interest, their everything has nothing to do with Yoruba. But they want to hold that leadership of a thing and say, you know, I'm your leader. Be careful what you say to me. Oh, ni kure, for those of you who have that mentality. What kind of mentality is that? You are a leader. Leadership comes with responsibility. Your responsibility is to the people you claim to lead. But when you lead them to death, now they decided they now bury everything Yoruba culture. It's now about who has money. See, Yoruba has a culture that says, even if you see a thief, dressed in gold loin, gold chains, driving gold Rolls Royce, walking with a golden walking stick, listen to me. That person is a thief. And you have to be very, 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 confident enough to know that whatever he owns is not his. He stole them. So why are you so kind of fixated and call them leader? Leader of who? Somebody like that, they have people like this who will also say, shut up your mouth. Why don't you come and fight? Why don't you come back home? See, if I go back home, won't I need to also do this before these guys will say, hey, Maiyegun Baba, Maiyegun, our leader. All I need to do to be your leader is just this.
Unnegotiable. Go and wash your hands. Wash your hands next time. Because of non-negotiable. Wash your hands, please.
So when you see people like that dropping comment on social media, why don't you come back home? They want me to come back home so that I can share money to them. Money, me, that I don't have any money to steal. I have no money to steal from you. I've never collected any dime from you or stole any money from you. So why then should I, because I want you to live a good life, come back and start sharing money to all of you and say, oh yeah, take money. Oh yeah, I'm your leader now. So that you can then say, Baba, you know if you spend money like TINUBU, because that's how you have been programmed. Nobody can help you. Trust me. What I'm doing right now is just to be the conscience that will continue to remind you that if you think your foolishness, your stupidity can be wished away when you complete the whole process that they are pushing you into now, right? And in 2 years' time, you'll be going all over social media and you'll be saying, nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow. Anything can happen to anybody. We should all try and help. If we have money, we should help people we no get. And I'm just trying to remind you that when people now tell you then that go and find work, don't tell them that God that gave them money can take the money, because your mental problem is going to get worse with what they are pushing you into. And my own is not to stop you. No, stop you, okay? Stop you from going to do what you want to do. Or is it that of the Atifku that is gingering you? Everything, I get everything here. You know what? You will all make your decisions. Mine is to remind you. 1 year time, 2 years time, 3 years time, you would have made your decisions, won't you? Yeah? And you would have regretted them as well. While you are waiting for a year to election again, you'll possibly join us and start saying, yeah, it's true. Well, I think we should break up Nigeria. We are not in a rush. Not until many of you are ready. Yeah? Of course, it's not going to happen anytime soon, right? Check this out. Somebody was asking the Igbos, especially the one that call himself the Southeast leader of, or Southeast governor leader, Devulumai. And let me tell you something. As we have this crazy maniac from Western Nigeria, Yorubaland, don't think you are, any other place is better off. It's the same madness everywhere. Umahi and the rest believe that the presidency should come to the South. But if it comes to the South, it should go to the Igbos, which I support 100% if you actually have a system. If there's anything to unite Nigeria right now in a way that people can now say, oh, let's start talking. Or now we are going to peacefully, federalism, whatever you want to do. To start anything at all that can make you think maybe Nigeria can survive another 10 years. Yeah? Just give the Igbos the presidency. Give it to them. Don't think them asking for it is like pressuring you and all of that. Of course, they won't give it to them. Umahi, because he believed that they can mount pressure. And once the Igbos get presidency, they will forget Biafra. I didn't say that. Umahi said that. And many people have said, Maiyegun, he is a madman. Don't listen to him. Of course, I'm not listening to him. Same way I'm not going to listen to TINUBU. Same way I don't want anyone that's out there to listen to TINUBU and gang. I'm not listening to him, but he said it. He said, presidency is more better than Biafra. And that Biafrans, the Igbos, will unite Nigeria. I kind of believe that. I don't know why. Right? But it's a mirage. Umahi.
Sitting at home because of fear for their lives. If you have a policeman, to everybody, nobody is going to, obey any sit at home. Nobody is going to obey that. So we are going to do what we've been doing to safeguard the lives of our people, because we've gotten the confidence of our people that these people do not mean well for us, and that you cannot have Biafra by the way they're going about it. Meanwhile, every elite in Southeast is not desirous of Biafra. We don't want Biafra. We want to be treated equally like other regions in Nigeria. So this idea of Biafra is madness. And we have said, no, we don't want Biafra. And it's because, according to our leaders, that we are not being equally treated, that gave rise to this loophole, and people began to work on our psyche, and they began to form this agitation groups. So this is what we intend to do.
Well, it turns out
he didn't just say they don't want it. He said it's madness. You see, in another 18 months, Devulumai will cease to be governor of Ebonyi. 18 months. That's how we calculate it where I work. 18 months, 1.5 years, or maybe, let's say 20 months. It's not up to 20 months, is it? This is October 2, 7, and then at 12, that's well. Let's say 20 months. Yeah? 20 months. Umayi will not be able to say what he's saying anymore. You won't even see him again. Maybe he can also push himself to go and become a senator, but he's positioning himself, believing that they are going to make him the president, even after crossing over to APC, Egbekegbe. He denied Biafra, like many like him too. Just same way, they are telling the Yorubas, listen, Nigeria is better than to be on your own. The same characters who campaigned on a true federalism are now saying we should just manage what you get and see if these people will give us power. They are now using the bait, the same tribal bait, and they need you. But Tifku is not having that. It's like, no. What do you mean by presoning the presidency to the south? Now, the APC themselves, they are also confused now, okay? Meanwhile, Malamun and Bukwari, they have their plan, which is ongoing, steady. And that is the last joker they're going to pull. However, they refuse to hold their national convention. Yobe governor is also the APC chairman. So, which simply means those who are jumping about for TINUBU in the south, they are happy because, well, the chairman is still from the north. Until they will put their stunts and they will just pick a Yoruba man as the chairman of APC. Boom. They say, well, a Yoruba man cannot be chairman and a Yoruba man cannot be president. So your TINUBU will be out of the picture and they will make him come out and hold the picture of the person they want to use. And he will hold it with confidence. Right? And say, well, this is where we're going. However, this whole thing as well will put the Eastern Nigeria. So you can now look at it and say, where is all of this going? It's all about the money they've taken that they are willing to give back to you now, even though they've already devalued the Naira. It's worthless even when they give them to you. But yeah, they will be giving them to you now. And some of you are going to begin to pretend that you have sense, you have brain, and you begin to then project like, Nigeria will be this and that, like your swagger. K1, like I said, Atiku reject that. And he had this to say at the PDP convention that was held there recently.
I have always spoken ex-tempo without any written remarks. But today, I am going to read a very short remark. And then after that, go into a little bit of history. Because people like Professor Jerry Gana are here, people like Alhaji Shuaibu Oyedokun are here, who can recollect the few historical events I will recall. But first of all, let me start. The People's Democratic Party has the right to determine its rules on how the party should be governed. The people of Nigeria also have the right to determine who governs them. Where the president comes from has never been the problem of Nigeria. And I can cite examples. Neither will it be the solution. There is no such thing as a president from southern Nigeria or a president from northern Nigeria. There is only one, a president from Nigeria, for Nigeria, by Nigerians. Talking about inclusions, I would like to see a new national working committee of our party, our great party, that has sizable numbers of our youth and women.
There is more, he said. I like that part where he wanted to deceive you. There is no northern Nigeria, there is no southern Nigeria, but the president of Nigeria, that's the lie they always want to tell you, okay? There is northern Nigeria, there is southern Nigeria, okay? And those, the lie, like I said, is a lie. This guy is the most fraudulent of them all. Oh, you need to know Atiku's story, which I'm not going to tell you fully now. Some of you know his story. But the one I want to share with you is the conspiracy that led to emergence of Bukwari through this Atiku. In the core north, the conversation among them after the 2011 election was that the people, in fact, let me put it this way. The conversation in the northern Nigeria then, right, was that Jonathan was actually not a Niger Deltan. Jonathan was presented to them as Igbo. So, in their midst, they were telling themselves that they regretted letting the Igbos taste power. And they would never taste it again in their lives. No joke. That was the campaign in northern Nigeria. So it was then like, according to the Atiku and the gang, to rescue PDP from the mistake of making Jonathan, Igbo man, president. Because listen, today, they will tell you, Jonathan is our brother from Niger Delta. And you are the dot in the circle, right? But you see, after 2011, where this madness started from, it was that, number one, Jonathan is from a minority ethnic nationality in Nigeria that they gave power to, because they believe they gave that power. They gave him that power. Now he's feeling like this and that. They told him not to contest in 2011. He contested. Now he wants to contest again in 2015. No, we need to rescue PDP. We need to rescue Nigeria from this ungrateful person from the minority who is leading us. That was the message in the northern Nigeria. Listen, I did my research and exactly that was the message. And at that point, it was pretty much like the next person that would take over from Jonathan must be a Muslim and he must be from the north. It was like a dead one. Atiku is a Muslim. He's from the north. It fitted into that criteria. Now, PDP, they were not even looking at APC or anything. No. It all started from PDP. Why TINUBU and gang were trying to meet with the CPC, the Al-Qaeda Taliban party of Bukwari and Malamun and it's a pandemic. They are doing their own alliance. So Atiku and Saraki and the rest, they unleashed the upheaval in PDP because of that same sentiment I told you of. If Jonathan should continue, PDP will crash. Will not follow him because, no, they can't give him that power again. So Atiku wanted to be president. His desperation made him become the presidential candidate of AC in 2007. His desperation returned him to PDP, thinking that he would take over from Jonathan. His impatience now led them the exodus from PDP. All of them move themselves, and they team up with the ACN, CPC, Al-Qaeda. They teamed up. Not just teaming up. Atiku wholeheartedly funded Bukwari's campaign. And I'm not joking. Check it out there. 6 billion naira was what his own personal funding for APC 2015 was. Just to ensure that an ungrateful somebody from Niger Delta can never lead them in this country. No, it's not possible. Forgetting the fact that, let me put it this way. Thinking that if he collaborate with them, who is Bukwari, is more shrewd, is more smart, is going to bribe all the delegates, and is going to get the president. All he needed was just use the platform and be the presidential candidate, and he can take over. Then he got into APC, Egbekegbe, Saraki and Co. You know the story. Now, after 2 years, after Bokwari came in, when Bokwari was going for all of them, he went for Atifku business. We didn't know that Atifku was collecting tax at Lagos Port, so Apapa Port. For years, he has a company that has been collecting taxes for Nigeria. And just like Alpha Beta, TINUBU company, collecting tax for Lagos. Atifku company was collecting tax in Apapa, and it was not remitting money. After spending 6 billion, giving his private jet for the, do you remember that picture where Bokwari was laughing inside a private jet in one of their campaign? That was Atifku private jets. These people, but when they did their primaries, yeah, now so TINUBU and gang, Lagos money, Atifku and the gang, they were bribing delegates with $5,000 or something. TINUBU and gang came, they started giving $10,000 for those who were going, not all of them, because those who were from Lagos, those ones now esprit they call, now change it and give them. They have to deliver. Lagos has to deliver. Southwest has to deliver, as they always say, right? Now so Atifku enter Kosho. But he didn't back there. He was like, oh, I'm still going to invest in it. That was the moment his presidential dream died. But his desperation didn't die. When Bokwari destroyed his business, his fraudulent business in Lagos, stealing our money in Lagos, he moved to Dubai. Malamu came out and said, Atifku is not even a Nigerian. It's in fact, a Cameroonian. How Atifku returned back to PDP after the disastrous journey, thinking again that now that Goodluck Yorubaland is gone, he can also still use his influence as their leader, PDP leader. United force, Atiku is better. Atiku is a businessman. Atiku has connection. Atiku can relate with everybody. Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, blah, 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 nonsense that the elite are telling them. That's what they sold to you. Let us rescue ourselves from Bokwari so that we don't blah, 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 blah. He returned to PDP. But by the time he got there, to challenge the lifeless mannequin, Bokwari, it became a serious one because Bokwari was not interested in any election. Waiting concerned Bokwari with election. They will write the result. If he paying you, go Supreme Court. Tanko technicality, they there. It will take care of you. It's stupid. And so they enter another caution. Now, this time around, Bokwari is now going to spend 8 years, which was the reason why Atifku was desperate. He would have been the one doing another 8 years now because he told them, he said, I was just going to complete the tenure of the North. Now he's back and they have told him, listen, we cannot go and vote for another Fulani again, for another 8 years. That doesn't make any sense. What about, guess what? It was like, no. You cannot tell Nigerians how to vote because he believed that if they should give him the ticket in PDP, the North will give him their vote. Same way to cajole all of you mumus, all of you bomb morons that are jumping up and down right now because they told you are the leaders of tomorrow. Why your grandpas, great-grandpas are still there. And they say, TINUBU, even the old TINUBU. Now, let's even say TINUBU Atifku. You have Kingsley Moghalu. Kingsley Moghalu is there, but Kingsley Moghalu is not appealing to you. You know why? Your own type of one Nigeria has been programmed for you. Except these criminals. Anyone else, and we can't trust them. They are now, so all of them be. Are you not mad? Now, when you do your thing, you're going to turn around and say, hey, we should all do our best to help the poor people. We should all do our best to be nice. We don't know what tomorrow. What tomorrow? I am telling you what your tomorrow is going to be. You are putting it in their hands, right? And guess what? It's going to burn you. And I'm going to be here to remind you, okay? So for those who said they don't want, they want a presidency in the East, right? Yeah, well, time will tell. We are all about to see how this goes down. The Anambra governor himself, Obaino, was in Abuja, and they were talking about a state of emergency ahead of their election. And it was like, we don't want a state of emergency, begging somehow. Meanwhile, they have already unleashed political assassination campaign in that place. Mind you, on the assaults that are being carried out on the people of Eastern Nigeria, the people of Biafra, as we speak, in the name of a golden dawn, killing innocent people has reached its 5th day now. And as we speak, we haven't received the tally of people they have, innocent people they have shot and killed, right? But as you are watching this video, there's a lot of media blackout from what is going on in the East. And if you're watching me from any part of the Eastern Nigeria, please, the only thing you have is that your device, your phone. Capture everything strange, everything unusual. Well, maybe not so unusual, but don't ignore many things, because that video you're going to make may be the video that is going to change everything. You don't know which of them. The atrocities needed to be recorded, documented, and everybody be able to go into the archives and pick them up. They are doing that as we speak. Yeah? But the Anambra governor met with Bokuwari and he had this to say.
Well, that's a very unfortunate comment by the Attorney General, Malami. Very, very unfortunate. I also reported that to the president, and this is not in the books for the president, because he knows that Anambra has been the safest state in Nigeria for 7 years plus. These invaders from outside Anambra state, from the neighboring towns, we are going to deal with them. We're already working, so there's nothing, even to contemplate state of emergency. Unfortunate. Look at what is happening in the north. They kill dozens every day. Because less than 15 people were killed in Anambra in 2 weeks. Is that the reason for somebody to call for a state of emergency? That's a very unfortunate comment by Malami. I will call him to express a reservation on those kinds of comments. He shouldn't try that. Anambra is doing well. And don't forget that Malami is on the national campaign committee for the APC candidate. So if that's their strategy, then they failed already. Come to the ballot box, Anambra will win and win hands down. Sorry, APGA will win and win hands down. So they are trying to see how they can destabilize us. No, APC has no roots in Anambra. There's nothing to call APC in Anambra. Anambra is APGA. Yes. And I mentioned it, and the president didn't suggest that. President is firm. He wants a peaceful election in Anambra State. He wants a free and fair election in Anambra State. That's the president for you. But if people in his party are going around making insinuations, using his name to do things, the president clearly told me that he does not support that. Full stop.
Somebody says, see eyes. I'm not sure he's drunk in that video, but I don't even know how drunk, how people who drink look like. Because sometimes, I drink myself and I don't probably face camera when I'm drunk, so I wouldn't know. If not, I'll check. But anyway, he was trying to make himself feel good. Malamu spoke. Obiano, they give opinion. Is it because they turn on the camera? Whatever they're going to do in Anambra is already in motion. Everything is sorted, including the results, including the, the legal, whatever that's going to follow. It's done. Right? So whether IPOB said there won't be election or not, it should be a saving grace. You see, most of these people, Mazi Namdekanu used to say, and, will tell you, say, if you serve Nigeria or defend Nigeria, you're going to come back disgraced. Right? Most of them always regret in their closet after they are done with the paparazzi, everything that you're seeing right there. Yeah. But because they have alternative of getting away and running away, so they won't really show that in the public. He's making himself feel good about the election they've concluded. Whether they are going to declare state of emergency or not, it will likely be after the election. And even let me tell you something. Some people are saying state of emergency. When they declare state of emergency, there's going to be this or that, right? Listen to me. Their state of emergency will be the one you've never seen before. It's already on. The volatile situation they have brought upon the Eastern Nigeria, which is deliberate, right? Don't let anybody guilt trip you, okay? Don't let anybody tell you that because you're an IPOB member, because of what you are saying, because of this or that, that is why they are doing what they are doing in the Eastern Nigeria. It is not, okay? Do not let anybody guilt trip you. Okay, your right to express your displeasure or your right to express your want for self-determination, right, should never mean that you should become a target of gunshot or killing or arrest or assault. Okay, so don't let anybody guilt trip you, psychologically make you think what you are doing is so wrong that you deserve to be killed for it. So they've already set up the Eastern Nigeria for whatever they are planning towards 2023. It is their own, what do you call it? It is their own hidden card. But it's not so hidden. And I've told you this many times on Maiyegun's Diary Politico, okay? You might think they want to leave. They need to play the role and make it look like, yeah. If you pay attention very well, you will realize that normally they have every reason to say out of the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, at least 4 of them are embroiled with different crises as we speak, right? So if you have 4 regions that doesn't have any stable security, how are you then sure that you want to conduct election there? And how are you sure that those elections, some of you are going to pretend to cast, the vote you are going to pretend to cast, how are you sure that those votes are exactly what they want to record? Because you are not. The same criminals who should make you or give your election credibility, they failed to pass the law to make electronic transfer of results so that at least legitimately you get to know areas where people can vote because of insecurity. Then you get to know where people vote and how many people voted. But in this case, it's all charade. Stop lying to yourselves and making yourself feel like, but if we don't vote, they are going to put some people there. The people that they will put there are going to be validated by those of you they will pay money to. But if you think you going about talking to people and all of that is what will change them, then you are yet to learn. Revolution is a word that some of you are so scared of because of the people who are asking for it. That is exactly where you are going to be led to. But as for now, play to the gallery. Enjoy the moment. Bokwari said he's going to spend 25 billion on, they will pay house rent for Aso Rock. Bokwari will use that part of the money for Aso Rock Clinic. The rest, they are going to use 11 billion to finance the presidential fleet in 2022. Meanwhile, they have no dime. They are going to borrow the money. So do what works for you, okay? Go on with your swagger. Go on with whatever you think will work for you. I am Maiyegun, the same person you have been hearing from for the past 7 years. And guess what? Like a diary, I am always your archives to always say, go and open it up. Did Maiyegun tell you about this or not? And that is where we're going to draw the curtain. I'm going to see you later tonight. But before then, if you are in Scotland and you still have a chance of driving down or joining us in George Square this afternoon, we are going to begin to arrive for the Solidarity Rally. This is our own way of telling the world what is going on to our people back home. If I go back to Nigeria now, and I go back to Ijebu, and I ended up getting kidnapped, I may never see my family again. And that won't happen to me if Yorubaland is safe. We have people who wanted to protect Yorubaland. Nigeria said they can't do it. Those who attempted and went ahead to do it, they are targeted and killed. Oloye Sunday Igboho was almost assassinated just because he stood up to protect people like us and give confidence to people like us that don't be afraid. Come back home. Let's do it together. You will be safe. But however, before you begin to come back home, for now, it is not safe. Your safety is not guaranteed. The safety of your family is not guaranteed. So that is the situation. And we cannot live here forever. Many of us, yes, we left Nigeria. We left Yorubaland. But why do you think we continue to send money? Because we still have a lot of people we love. Our family members who are there. We can't just say, bye-bye, that's it. Of course you won't do that. Yeah? So if they are not safe, we are not safe. Yeah? And if we think we can stay here, because we can avoid not to go at all. Yeah? But trust me, when they get kidnapped, you and I will begin to raise money. To pay for their ransom. Then that means whether you go home or you don't go home, Nigeria is affecting you directly and indirectly. How do we tell the world about this? Some said they won't do anything. Well, we don't want them to do anything. We just want them to know so that the rest of you who still don't believe the danger you are in, maybe One way or the other, all these rallies and all this enlightenment will help you to see through it better and realize that it is not actually because we hate I don't hate anyone. Listen, Nigeria may have destroyed your mentality. Nigeria may have psychologically ruined you, okay? To make you think when somebody don't like you, then that means they hate you. No, the opposite of like is dislike. It means I like this, no, I don't like it. Hate is extreme. People who tell you that I hate you is deeper than just saying, no, I disagree with you, so I don't like you. I don't hate people. These characters I mentioned, these characters I talk about all the time, yeah? I don't see them as people I hate. I don't hate them. I see them as those who born opportunity to make a difference in our lives. They chose not to do it. And here we are, paying the price, okay? I have no obligation to like them, to respect them, to honor them, but I won't hate them. I won't hold you back. If hating them makes you feel better, right? Up to you, but I don't hate. But I believe that when people begin to see the light and choose to make a difference, you won't need too much talking. They'll do it. I mean, they will do it. And that change that you want will be from you, will be from me, and it will never be from these guys. And when that happens, none of them will be in existence to participate in any leadership role. But for now, you are not ready. Trust me, you are not. As much as many people say, let's stop talking, let's go violence and all of that. Yes, it's so convenient to type that. Yeah, type it. Maiyegun, all this story is too long. No, go and face them and fight them. Very convenient. Maybe if that your own revolutionary mind is indeed real, go out there now. Do it. You don't know how many people want to do it too, but they are waiting for somebody like you who don't like to talk too much. You just like action. Stop typing that, okay? I don't like violence. I don't at all, and I don't promote it, right? But when it comes to self-defense, where your life is in danger or life of your loved one is in danger, trust me, if violence in staying alive is what you do, go for it. But you don't say, Maiyegun, all this story, or me, Maiyegun saying, you know, everybody, let us go to Just Square and carry your gun. You know what I mean? It will be insane. I'm not like that. So if you want to inspire people, if you love doing things than talking, stop typing. I would love to see what you do after this video. Go out there. Show us how it's done. The revolution you are running away from, it will start from your mind. The revolutionizing of your mind. And trust me, when you begin to act, some of you won't even believe what you are capable of doing. I'm going to Just Square in another 30 minutes. I'm going to be there from 12. I don't care how many numbers of people of us who finally arrive, but I'm going to be so grateful for every person that takes it upon themselves to be around. Yeah, a small gathering, a large gathering, we have the permits. So let's meet there this afternoon. In our own way, let's tell the Scottish government, the Scottish people, that if we had a choice, we'll probably be spending a few months in the UK, many months in Yorubaland, where the weather is all good, all year round. Trust me, some of us can actually live a life whereby we can live in Nigeria for a few months, live in the UK for a few months, because we can afford it. And those who are going to meet at home, where crime is less, I mean, like improved economy and the rest of that, you won't have to even care. Like, oh, you are in Nigeria now. No, you get what I mean now? So I'm just saying this, that let's tell the world that we all came from somewhere. And those who pushed us, made us feel like we couldn't survive it. Yeah, they have done worse than what it was when we left. And we don't know how more they're going to do if we stop talking. Don't hate me, okay? Just listen to me and listen to your conscience. Whatever that tells you after this broadcast, please follow it. I'll see you today at Just Square in Glasgow. Remember, before you leave, give me that thumb up under that video, especially my friend.